Do you struggle with sleep? This is a very common struggle that many people have, and I'm here to share with you 8 tips on how to get better sleep. My name is Dr. Lindsay Ogle, and I'm a board-certified family and obesity medicine physician. I own my own clinic called Missouri Metabolic Health, where I help patients treat and prevent metabolic conditions. And I really focus and emphasize lifestyle modification. And that includes healthful nutrition, adequate exercise, stress management, and adequate sleep. So sleep not only helps us rest and feel energized for the next day, it helps regulate our hormones. Poor sleep can increase our hunger hormones like ghrelin and can make us more hungry the next day. And we're also more likely to crave sugars. We're probably not going to have the energy to cook healthy meals, and we're not going to be making the most thought out decisions. We're going to be reaching for whatever is easiest, and that could be more packaged and processed foods. So there are many ways that sleep can affect our metabolic health and weight. Today's talk is really more about how to improve your sleep. And you can do that through what is known as sleep hygiene. And these are 8 principles that, when put together, can help you sleep better throughout the night. The first one is to have a sleep routine. So what this really means is having a consistent bedtime and wake time. And what's important to know here is the recommendation is to continue this through the weekend. So a lot of people tend to have a routine bedtime during the weekdays, the days before work, and then they'll wake up at a consistent time before work. But on weekends, they may stay out late with friends or stay up watching TV and allow themselves to sleep in to quote unquote catch up on sleep on the weekends. And while this may feel good in the moment, that catching up on sleep on the weekend and the altered sleep schedule on the weekend can then drag into the following week and affect your sleep patterns then. So as difficult and as unfun as this sounds, you are going to feel so much better if you have a consistent bedtime and wake time. And what those exact times are can vary from person to person. And so it doesn't have to be everybody goes to bed at 10 p.m. and wakes up at 6 a.m. If your work schedule is shifted a little bit later or a little bit earlier, that is okay. Whatever is working best for you and your daily routine is what is best to implement for your life. Setting up your bedroom in a sleep conducive way can help you sleep better, help you get to sleep and stay asleep. So the things that you're going to want to do are to make sure that you have blackout curtains. Keep your room as dark as possible. If you don't have access to these, or if it's not feasible, you can wear those masks before bed or while you're sleeping to block out the light. This is especially helpful if you have a bed partner who has a different sleep routine. Maybe they have to wake up earlier than you and they need to turn on a light to get ready. If you're wearing that mask, that is going to help prevent some of the light from getting into your eyes and waking you up earlier than you desire or need to. Keeping the room cooler, limiting noise. And again, if this is not something that you have a lot of control over, wearing earbuds can be very powerful here. Number 3, avoiding stimulants close to bedtime. And this will vary from person to person because everyone seems to be a little bit unique in how stimulants affect them. So some people can have caffeine pretty close to bedtime and sleep fine. Other people can't have caffeine after lunch or they'll be up all night. So just really listening and tuning into your body. If you're sensitive to caffeine or any other stimulants like nicotine, stimulant medications like ADHD medications, or for weight management, phentermine or similar medications such as that, having those earlier in the day are going to help you rest at night. Most of us also do better if we eat meals earlier on in the evening. So trying to avoid large meals the few hours before bedtime can be really helpful and help you rest better. Alcohol is another thing to be very cautious of. So people may not realize that they are drinking a glass or two or even more to help them fall asleep because they perceive that they are more relaxed and are going to bed easier. But the truth is, alcohol interrupts our sleep patterns and we tend to have less restful sleep. I know people who have worn Oura rings, and this is something I have yet to try, but they have noticed that even one glass of wine will affect their sleep quality. So that is something that if you're interested in to see how your sleep is specifically affected for you, that could be something to consider. I do not have any affiliation with Oura Ring, but it can be a helpful feedback tool if that is something that you're interested in. Number 6 is physical activity earlier on in the day. Being physically active in the day can help wake you up. Bonus points if you're able to do this outside and get sunlight. For most people, if you're exercising, especially vigorous exercise too close to bed, that can stimulate your fight or flight chemicals and can keep you awake. So exercising earlier in the day is preferred. Number 7, limit naps, especially long naps. So anything longer than a half an hour, especially in the evening time, is going to affect how you sleep at night. So if you feel really tired, your eyes are tired, laying down, relaxing, meditating, closing your eyes for 5 to 15 minutes, that can be very helpful. But taking extended naps, especially on a consistent basis, is going to interrupt your sleep patterns. Number 7, have a bedtime routine. Have a routine that tells your body that you are ready to fall asleep. We thrive on cues. So if you have your bedtime routine where you always stretch or meditate or journal or read a book before you go to bed, that is going to tell your body and your brain that you are getting ready for bed. It can prepare itself for bedtime, and you can have really great success with adding a bedtime routine for yourself. It does not need to be limited to children only. And last, this is something that I am not doing right now, is keeping your bedroom for sleep only. Sleep and intimacy only. So avoiding working in your bedroom, avoiding eating in your bedroom, avoiding gaming in your bedroom, avoiding any other activities other than what you would do on the bed is recommended. That is another association for your brain so that it knows when it's in the bedroom, you are ready to go to sleep. It can relax. If you are someone, especially if you work from home or you're doing homework, if you do that in the bedroom, especially if you do it in bed, that is going to trigger an emotional stress response that's going to have that attachment to the bed. So when you're laying down for bedtime, you may be thinking about work or school, and that is going to make you stressed out and overthink and keep you awake. So keeping the bed and the bedroom for sleep only is a huge pearl. Now, luckily, I sleep very well. I'm blessed that way, and I am able to work in the bedroom. This is where my office is because I live in an apartment right now. We do not have room for another office, and it works for me, and so that is okay. But I really do essentially all the other sleep hygiene habits, and all of that combined helps me to sleep fairly well. And so if one of these or two of these are not possible for you, then try to do the rest, and that will probably be enough to allow you to sleep well. How much sleep do you need? This can vary from person to person, but we all need at least 6 hours of sleep, usually no more than 9. And again, that can vary from person to person, depending on age, sex, genetics, what you're doing during the day. But aim for at least 6, probably no more than 9. Getting more than that for most people can make them more tired during the day. So find what works for you and try to get somewhere in that range. So tell me, are you a great sleeper? Is this something you struggle with? What of these sleep hygiene recommendations do you already do? What are you going to add? I'd love to hear in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe and share with somebody else so that they can get better sleep and improve their metabolic health and well-being. And until next time, have a great week.